Hello, this is Dr. Liz Cruz, and I'm here with Tina Nunziato, who is a certified holistic nutrition counselor or consultant. So together we want to give you a warm welcome to our seminar series, Digestive Health 101.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
So let's go ahead and get started here. So I am a gastroenterologist, and I've been practicing gastroenterology for over 10 years. I finished my fellowship, my training in gastroenterology back in 2003, and so it's been a little bit over 10 years that I've been practicing just pure gastroenterology. And if you've ever been to my office or come to see me as a patient, you'll know that when you come to see me, it's more than just me running a bunch of tests on you and rushing into the office like, okay, what's going on? I truly care about my patient's well-being, and that is something that has been carried on even by the providers I have there in the office, my nurse practitioner. You know, we truly are passionate about what's going on with our patient. To us, it's not just running a bunch of tests and labs and doing colonoscopy and endoscopy and a CAT scan, and it's more than that. When we do these tests, even if these tests come back negative and not really showing us what's going on with the patient, we don't stop there. You will never hear from us, you know what, I've done all I can do, there's nothing else I can offer you. That's not us. We continue to search and try to figure out what's going on. And that's really what led me on this journey to digestive wellness. So let me tell you a little bit about my practice. I opened up my doors in 2007, and it's been really frustrating what I've seen happen with medicine, and I'm sure that it's just as frustrating for you. It's really sad what's happened to our medical system. It's broken, and it doesn't seem to be heading in the right direction either. It continues to, in my opinion, it seems like it's spiraling downward very quickly. You know, I've seen a lot of changes in the patients that I see in the office. I mean, it's not unusual anymore for me to have a 20-year-old or even an 18-year-old come in with the same symptoms that their grandmother or their grandfather has. I mean, it's become very common. It's become the usual, the typical, to be seeing so many young people with the same problems that their parents and their grandparents have. And that's sad. That is sad. There's a problem. There is definitely a problem here. I've seen that change in the patient panel here over the last several years. And so, running tests and blood tests, radiology testing, colonoscopy, endoscopy, and basically still not coming up with an answer became very frustrating to me several years ago, and I felt that there needed to be something different. So I talked with Tina, who's my business and life partner, and together we decided to start a journey, and we started to do a lot of research, and we read a ton of books, went to seminars, went to anything that we could get our hands on, whether it was in reading material or going to a meeting. We did it, and we were just trying to figure out what was missing, and found out. I basically taught ourselves a lot of things that the medical degree that I had didn't teach me. And Tina went on to become certified in holistic nutrition, and together with the knowledge that we acquired, we put together what was our initial wellness program. And so since 2010, we've been offering wellness products and services, and we completely transformed our lives, the lives of our children, and the lives of many, many other people. And that's become our passion. That's become our strong passion, is to share our knowledge with others, to share our knowledge with you. And that's why we're so excited that you've taken the first step and that you're here with us listening to to what we have to share with you. And this is just the beginning. I mean, we have so much to share with you. So again, thank you for being with us as we start this journey and for taking the first step. So why do we live the way that we do? Here we go. Here we are with our family, and this is the number one reason for our family. I mean, we've seen the changes that our family's gone through with the knowledge that we've acquired over the last few years, and we want to share it with you. We want to share it with others, and with you. And you being here tells us that you want to know what we've learned, and that you want to make the first step to your digestive wellness. So again, thank you. Thank you for being here. I just want to put in a little disclaimer here that what we're presenting to you, what we're sharing with you, it's not material that's FDA approved. I mean, we haven't taken our theories through rigorous, double-blinded, research studies. Okay, it's just been tested over time. What we share with you has been tested over time, and so we're going to share it with you, and we want to push on. So you're in the right place if you're dealing with any of these symptoms or medical issues on a regular basis. And you can see the list here. It's endless. It goes on. We've only put in a few of the more common things that we see. And if you don't have any of these issues, if you don't have any of these symptoms or any of these medical issues, but you know of someone that has them, you're in the right place. And if you don't have any of these and you don't know anybody that has these, you're still in the right place, because the fact that you're here tells me that you are wanting to make a step in the right direction. And maybe you're feeling awesome and you're feeling great, but you're still here. And so obviously you're somebody who's interested in continuing to feel great and continuing to maintain your health. So I applaud you for being here, whether or not you have any of these issues. What are some of the outcomes of our teachings? Why do we teach this, and how is it going to help? How's it going to help you or help others? Well, first of all, it's going to help eliminate digestive issues forever, okay? And it's going to allow you to have less time with doctors and less time off of work. I mean, that's major. That's major, because the burden that just in our nation, the burden of disease, the burden of gastrointestinal issues is significant, to the point that people have to take a lot of time off of work. It costs a lot of money, not only because people are buying medicine and over-the-counter drugs, but also the value of money in the amount of time that's taken off of work. It's a very significant burden. It's going to allow people to get off some or all of the medications, and it's going to be able to allow them to take the money that they're spending on their illness and invest it on their health. Okay, that's where we should be spending our money, is on our health. I hear over and over from people, I don't have money to buy organic. I don't have money to buy healthy. I can't afford to buy healthy. But you know what? You can't afford not to spend money and invest on your health, because eventually you're going to spend it. If not now, down the line, down the road, you're going to be spending it on your illness, because you're going to be in the hospital, you're going to be in the doctor's office all the time. You know, some of the things that we've taught some of our clients and our patients has allowed them to see an increase in their energy and to have less fatigue. Some of them have had some weight loss. So this is not a weight loss program. I want to emphasize that the purpose of what we teach is not specifically for you to lose weight, but for a lot of the clients and patients that have gone through our program, just by changing the way that they eat, they've been able to lose some weight along the way. And that's been a huge plus for a lot of these people. Also, your taste buds, they're going to change to crave what your body needs. It's amazing how your taste buds will change, okay? They will change, and you will all of a sudden see your body craving healthy food. Okay, it happens. I've seen it in myself, and I've seen it in hundreds of people. And it allows you to become the authority of your body, of your health. And by doing that, you actually are going to be inspiring friends and family to do the same. Because believe me, they're going to see the change. They're going to notice that there's something different. They're going to see that you're more energetic. You're not as tired as you used to be. Maybe you're not spending as much time with doctors as you used to. You're getting out and enjoying life and doing things that don't involve the doctor. And friends and family are gonna notice that, and they're gonna question you about it, and it's gonna allow you to be able to share with them. And that's awesome. That's an amazing thing when we hear testimonies from our own clients and patients about how their friends and family are noticing the changes. It's exciting. It's really exciting. So, what are you gonna learn today? Number one, we're going to teach you how the body's digestive system works. We're going to give you some nuggets on this, okay? We're not going to get down into deep anatomy and physiology, 101 and 102. I mean, that's for medical school, okay? But we're going to give you some nuts and bolts about how the digestive system works. We're going to teach you why so many people have digestive issues, okay? It's not too complicated, believe me. We're going to then give you a quick and simple solution to better digestion. And we're going to teach you how to turn today's useful information into lifelong digestive health. All right? So let's go ahead and get started. We're all in this together. I'm going to teach you as much as I can in the short amount of time that we have available. And I promise that I'm going to show you how you can expand your learning to experience your own transformation. So I'd like to ask you to please hold your questions until the end, okay? All right, so how does our digestive system work? Well, in order for you to understand how the digestive system works, first you have to understand the structure and the function of the body as a whole. All right, let me just show you. This picture that we have here is a nice picture that just kind of breaks down. You've got the stomach here, and then you see that you've got tissue, you've got smooth muscle tissue, you've got columnar epithelium, which is the lining inside of the stomach. You've got connective tissue, you've got nervous tissue. It's amazing, the different tissues, and they're all specialized, okay? But the tissue doesn't just show up from nowhere. I mean, you've got to have cells, okay? You've got to have cells that create the tissue. And then the tissue goes on to make the organ. And then the different organs of the body is what compose the human body. That's what composes the human body. So let me take you down to the cellular level. All right? All right, so you've got trillions of cells that are repairing and renewing every single day. Every single day. This is something that is constantly going on. You're not even aware of it. In fact, you're not even thinking about your cells, okay? I mean, when do you think about your cells throughout the day? Never. I mean, the majority of people never even think about the fact that their body, when you break it down into the smallest unit, your organs are made out of tissue, which are made out of cells. And then you can take the cell and break it down even further, okay? But we're not going to do that right now. So you've got thousands of specialized types of cells. Your heart is made out of special heart cells, cardiac cells. Your nervous system is made out of nerve cells. I mean, all of those cells are very specialized, and they are all very different, okay? They're all very different. Now, for all your cells to remain healthy and to function perfectly as intended and to reproduce accurately, they have to be nourished. They've got to be nourished. They've got to get the nutrients that they need. And how do they get the nutrients? The nutrients are carried in through your blood. They're carried through the blood because the blood is flowing through all the arteries and the blood vessels through your body. I mean, there you've got hundreds of different types of arteries and veins, and the arteries are the ones that take the blood out to all of the organs in your body, so that the different organs in your body will be fed the nutrients and nutrition that it needs. All right, and so that's basically what your blood is doing. The blood is carrying the necessary building blocks out to the cells, okay? And that includes oxygen, okay? Oxygen is obviously the most crucial nutrient that your body needs, okay? Without oxygen, we don't live. So the human cell depends on the intake of food, water, oxygen, which I just mentioned, all right? And when your diet is missing certain nutrients, you're actually denying your cells the nutrients that they need to function and live, all right? I mean, I bet that you probably have never really thought of it, or maybe you have, okay? But when you eat food, have you thought about, oh, this food that I'm eating right now is going to go to give nutrient to my cells, okay? To the cells of my body. You know, I doubt that you've thought about it that way, okay? I mean, I've mentioned this hundreds of times to my patients, and people just kind of look at me like I have three eyes, all right? But when your body is missing these nutrients, you are denying the cells the nutrients that they need to function and to live. And if your cells lack the nutrients, if they lack the nutrients, what happens to them? They become weak and they die, all right? They die. And they can't reproduce as new cells. And if they do reproduce as new cells, the new cells that are being reproduced are weak. They're not strong because there's not nutrients, there's not sufficient good nutrients to keep those cells strong and to continue to reproduce in a healthy fashion, all right? This also causes a toxic buildup. And it's literally true that your body is breaking down from the inside out. All right, so let's take a look at our digestive tract, okay? So this is a great diagram. It shows the beginning of your digestive tract, which is actually in your mouth, okay? And so you've got your mouth, and then from the mouth, you've got the esophagus, and then the esophagus moves into the stomach, and then the stomach moves into the small intestine. And you've got about 22 feet of small intestine. It's pretty amazing. It's a pretty long structure, okay? And it's amazing that it's all just coiled up there in your abdomen, in your abdominal cavity. And then from your small intestine, that connects to your colon. And your colon in itself is about 5-6 feet long. And then stool moves through the colon and moves out through the rectum, and you dump it into the toilet bowl. Or for most of us, into the toilet bowl, okay? So when you eat, it's not like your body is immediately going to extract the nutrients from the food that you've just put into your mouth, okay? That food needs to be broken down, all right? Your cells, the cells in your body aren't able to use the food that you eat after you swallow it, okay? I mean, there's an entire process of a lot of little reactions and different processes that take place in order to break down that food into little particles, into the necessary form that your body needs in order to be nourished, okay? So the food has to be broken down into little small absorbable units. And the group of organs that perform this process, this conversion, is called your digestive system, which is what I just went through. Now, a couple more things. And I just basically ran through the intestinal tract with you. But then you also will notice there in that diagram that you've got the liver, you've got the gallbladder, and you've got the pancreas that is kind of tucked behind the stomach. And all of those organs also play into the digestive system. Okay, those are all part of the digestive tract. And all of this system working together is what's going to digest the food and get it into the small absorbable units that will then go to nourish your cells. All right, so the digestive process starts. Where does it start? It starts when you think of eating, okay? When the idea of eating enters your mind, it immediately starts, okay? Have you ever noticed that if you think of something delicious that you want to eat, or if you smell something, that your mouth waters. Okay, your mouth waters. That's actually the process of digestion starting. Okay, because that water that's being formed in your mouth is actually enzymes that are being squirted out by the salivary glands that are in your mouth. Okay, so digestion actually starts with when the idea of eating enters your mind. So it's not even when food hits your mouth, it's when the idea enters. And then food enters your mouth, and it has to be broken down by the teeth. You know, you have to chew your food. And then, as I already mentioned, enzymes that are found in your saliva immediately start breaking down starches or carbohydrates in whatever you've eaten. Then that food bolus is swallowed, and that passes through the esophagus, and then that goes into your stomach. And then what happens in the stomach? You've got more breaking down in the stomach. You've got more enzymes, you've got acids, and all of that helps to break down food into nutrients. And then once this is broken down, you've got a liquid that exits the stomach and enters into the small intestine. And this liquid actually has a name. It's called chyme. C-H-Y-M-E. It's called chyme. So when the food is broken down in your stomach and enters your small intestine, it enters as a liquid called chyme. And now in the small intestine, this is where all of the majority of the absorption of the nutrients takes place. Okay, so if you look at this little diagram that I've got up here, it shows these little finger-like projections that are called villi. These little villi are crucial because it's through the little villi where the absorption of the nutrients is going to take place. Okay, now remember I told you you've got about 22 feet of small intestine, and the entire small intestine is lined by these little villi. In fact, if you were to look at the small intestine, okay, when I'm doing endoscopies on patients and I'm in the small intestine, if you look at the small intestine, the texture, it's got a very velvety appearance, and it's all these millions and millions of villi. If you were to take these villi and line them up next to each other, you would have probably bigger than a football field. Okay, so it's amazing that if you were to take all the villi of your intestine, of your small intestine, and line them up, it would be about the size of a football field. So imagine that all of this absorption is taking place through these little villi. Okay, it's amazing when you think about it. All right, it truly is amazing. And whatever nutrients aren't absorbed, then move into the large intestine for elimination. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk briefly here, just for a couple minutes, about the organs of elimination. All right, so every day you've got to eliminate toxins and waste products. Okay, we have to eliminate it efficiently and completely, or what happens? Your body is going to get overloaded and it's going to get stressed out. And basically that is what happens almost on a daily basis. All right, waste products aren't eliminated, and when these waste products aren't eliminated properly, they settle in the tissues, and that's when you start to get symptoms of achiness and pains and just ill health, you know, just not feeling well, just kind of feeling kind of icky and yucky. Okay, and typically that's because your waste products aren't getting eliminated, and they're just kind of piling up in your body in different areas. The body has 6 organs of elimination. The bowel, all right, and so that's obviously that's our focus here, the bowel, all right. And so when you have a bowel movement, you're eliminating. You are eliminating, okay? And sometimes people don't think of it that way, but you're eliminating toxins in the form of stool. Also, the lungs, when you breathe out, okay, you are breathing out gases that sometimes are toxic, okay? Like sometimes certain oils that your body, that our digestive system breaks down, you breathe out some of the toxic metabolites, breakdown products of those oils, okay? So you're eliminating when you breathe out. The skin, when we sweat, we're eliminating toxins. So it's good to sweat. It is great to sweat. It's important for you to sweat. The kidneys, when you urinate, again, eliminating toxin. The liver, the liver is a huge organ, and it's constantly trying to detoxify the body. Okay, so that's a major organ of elimination, and sometimes we don't think of it in that manner, but it is a very crucial organ for elimination. And then the lymphatic system, again, another organ of elimination that sometimes people don't think of as an organ of elimination, but it's a very intricate system of little vessels, and through those vessels you have this little fluid. It's the little white fluid that's running through the vessels. It's called lymphatic fluid, and those vessels are all connected to lymph nodes. And so if you can imagine, lymph nodes are also filtering out foreign substances that do not belong in your body, okay? And sometimes those lymph nodes get clogged up. And in women, we've got a huge collection of lymph nodes, especially under our armpits. And sometimes when those lymph nodes get clogged up, you've got a backup, and that can, in certain situations, lead to breast cancer in women. And in men, one of the areas where you've got lymph nodes that can get clogged up and also lead to cancer is in the groin area, and you can get the development of prostate cancer. Okay, so that's just a couple quick examples of the lymphatic system, but also a very important system in eliminating toxins in our body. So far today we've focused on how the body's digestive system works. All right, now I want to move on to why so many people have digestive issues. So why do we have so many digestive issues? Well, there's a lot of reasons. There's a combination of several things. I think one of the major things, especially here in the United States, is the food and the drink that we consume every day, and that's difficult for our body to digest, and that really offers little to no nourishment to your body. The standard American diet, and I think that's appropriately named, SAD, our SAD diet, the standard American diet, leaves little to no nourishment for us. I mean, you know, basically the food is a filler for your stomach, but gives you no nourishment, okay? We are an overfed and undernourished society. And another thing that we are is a very dehydrated society, okay? I mean, you've got a society that hydrates or thinks it's hydrating on all the fancy coffees and the energy drinks and sodas, and really what we're doing is getting more dehydrated, okay? Because none of those liquids is hydrating, all right? So we're an undernourished and a dehydrated society. And unfortunately, the lack of nourishment is causing a breakdown in our cell development, okay? And so one of the things that ends up getting kind of cheated along the way is the development of our digestive enzymes. We have a lack of proper digestive enzyme development because we are not getting the nourishment that we need. And it's a vicious cycle, because by not having proper digestive enzyme development, you're not digesting your food properly, okay? And so it is truly a vicious cycle. And as a result, you've got waste products that are just kind of piling up in your body, creating a toxic buildup that aren't getting eliminated effectively. What's another thing that leads to digestive issue? High stress. High stress. And you might ask, well, how can that be? Let me tell you, I see hundreds of patients who come in with so much anxiety and stress, and of all ages, and it's really sad. You know, young people in their early 20s, people that are in their late teens, 18, 19-year-olds coming in who are so anxious. They have so much anxiety, and who shouldn't have this? Who shouldn't have this? But we live in such a high-stress world. These patients are coming in stressed out. They have abdominal pain. They have heartburn. And yes, I mean, definitely, they could be having abdominal pain because maybe they've got, you know, gallbladder issues, or maybe they have an ulcer. But the majority of the time, after doing a workup on them, a lot of these people have nothing found. Okay, they have no ulcer, they have no gallbladder problem, and in the end, it turns out it's just they're so stressed out, and the way that they manifest their their stress is through different physical symptoms. And in my case, since I'm a gastroenterologist, where I see a lot of are people that are coming in with gastrointestinal symptoms, abdominal pain, heartburn, acid reflux, gas, bloating. So I really believe that stress is contributing to a lot of these digestive issues. Little rest. People have a hard time sleeping. They're so stressed out, they have so much anxiety that they can't even sleep. And so again, another vicious cycle of not getting enough rest. And so that leads them to having more stress. And then having more stress causes them to not be able to sleep. They've got insomnia. Lack of movement. People don't move. They don't exercise. And you don't have to do anything fancy. You don't have to go get a membership at a gym. I'm talking about just simple movement. Even just some walking, brisk walking, or stretching exercises. I mean, there are some people that sit at a desk all day long and never move. They're at the desk. They may get up to go to the restroom once or twice, or if they even go to the restroom, because most of them aren't even hydrating with the proper fluids. And if they're not hydrating, they don't have the need to go to the restroom. So lack of movement is another contributing factor. Let's look again at the standard American diet. There you have it. There you go. The hamburger, French fries, and a soda. That is the standard American diet. And you see it on any corner that, any major corner, you'll have, 2 to 4 fast food restaurants. And that's what you're going to get. So as Americans, we eat an overabundance of white food and not enough green food. So what am I talking about by the white food? Sugar, flour, rice, bread. It's cheap, and you find it in pretty much all processed and fast foods, okay? I mean, it's pretty amazing that you could feed a family of 4 or 5 at one of the local fast food restaurants for under $10. You go and order off the dollar menu, and everybody's got a full meal, But the question is, are they getting properly nourished? And I think everybody knows the answer to that. So the thing is that everybody knows that this is not nourishing, and that this is not the right diet. Okay, most people know that. Most people know that, but do they make the change? Most people don't make the change. Okay, sugar, it's like poison. In fact, I refer to it as the other white drug, but it's poison to your body. And what about flour and rice and bread? It's like glue. I mean, if you were to take a little bit of flour and put a little water in it and mix it up, it makes a paste. It makes paste. And so imagine this food in your intestine. Okay? I mean, no wonder people are constipated and gassy and bloated. I mean, this is what they're eating day in and day out. So what is green food? I'm talking about salads, vegetables, avocado. That's what's going to build healthy blood cells. Okay, that's what's going to build healthy blood cells. And when you have healthy cells, you can build healthy tissue, you can build healthy organs, and you can have a healthy body. So I kind of spoke a little bit about this already as far as drinking. We drink everything but water throughout the day. Everything. We drink the fancy coffees. We start out the day with a pot of coffee, and some people start out the day with a big I don't even know what they call those big cups that you can get like at the local Circle K, of soda, and that's how they start their day, hydrating. But that is not hydrating. I just want to say that again. You're not hydrating. Okay, you're actually becoming more dehydrated. And most people think that just because it's liquid, it must be hydrating. I mean, I see patients in the office, and I'll ask them, okay, how much water are you drinking? Well, maybe 1 glass, but I woke up and I had 3 cups of coffee, and then throughout the day I'll have maybe 5, 6, Cokes or Diet Cokes, and so yeah, I'm drinking liquids. that's actually dehydrating that person more than anything else. All right, so that's not hydrating. You know, your body is made up mostly of water. You're like 70-80% water. And have you ever tasted your tears, or even if you've ever gotten a cut, have you ever tasted your blood? It's actually salty, right? It's salty. I mean, it's not sweet. And yet we hydrate ourselves with these sweet drinks, sodas, you know? So your body is mostly water. So imagine, what do you think your body mostly needs? Your body needs water. And it doesn't need sweet water. You know, another example is when you go to the hospital, or if you go to an urgent care because you know you've been having symptoms or you're going to have a procedure, and they put an IV into you. What are they hydrating you with? Are they giving you sugar water? No, they're giving you normal saline, because that's what you need to get hydrated. All right? Your body is basically a giant salt water bag. You need water to hydrate you, and you actually need water that's a little bit on the salty side. All right, so I'm not going to get into that now, but I just wanted to just put that out there to just kind of stimulate some thought process in you about the type of hydration that we need. And we wonder why we're dragging through the day. Why are we dragging? Well, we're eating white sugar, okay? And when we feel down, we think that what we need is sugar, so we go and get us a Snickers bar or a bag of M&Ms. You know, we're eating processed food, we're eating Doritos, we're drinking caffeinated drinks, all for quick energy, and all of which is actually nutritionally depleting us and making us more dehydrated. What about stress? Stress on the body. I mentioned that I am a huge believer that stress definitely contributes to a lot of the digestive symptoms that I see on a daily basis in the office. Stress is really a silent killer, and it can change the chemistry in your body in the matter of minutes, quickly, all right? Quickly. And, you know, it causes a lot of physical symptoms, and I know that people don't think of it in that way. I mean, people come in to see me and they've got different issues. They've got bowel problems. They have headaches. Their blood pressure is up in the sky. They've got sleeping problems. They've got joint aches. They're having a hard time concentrating. You know, they feel anxious. They feel depressed. You know, they've got memory problems, and people don't attribute a lot of these things to stress, you know. And I'm not saying that these problems can't be because they have an actual medical problem. I mean, yes, a lot of people do have medical problems that need to be addressed, but a lot of times, a lot of these problems are from stress in their lives, and you know, stress and anxiety can cause a lot of physical symptoms. Okay, and the sad thing is that a lot of times people will go to alcohol and drug abuse to try to relieve some of these symptoms that they're having. So now, in addition to already having some of these physical symptoms, now they're going to throw in issues with alcohol and drug abuse, and it just becomes a big snowball that is just getting bigger and bigger. Over 25% of the patients that I see on a daily basis are on some form of antidepressant or some medication for anxiety, and sometimes they're on 2 or 3 or 4. I mean, it's not uncommon for me to see a medication list where there is at least 2 or 3 medicines on that list that are for either anxiety or for depression. All right, this is sad. This is what's happening to our society. What about lack of sleep? So what about lack of sleep? What happens if you don't get enough rest? Well, you know, your cells, the cells in your body are tired. They don't get a chance to rejuvenate, okay? Good sleep helps you. It helps to strengthen your immune system, which then is going to make you less prone to illness and sickness. And believe it or not, it reduces stress and tension and anxiety, okay? And I see this even in my kids. I mean, when my kids are exhausted and tired, they're cranky, they're you know, I mean, everything bothers them. And I get them to bed at a decent time, and they wake up in the morning, and they're like new people, okay? I mean, this is true of all of us, no matter what our age is. There's been surveys that have been conducted by the National Sleep Foundation, and it shows that at least 40 million Americans suffer from over 70 different sleep disorders. I mean, honestly, I didn't even realize that there were that many sleep disorders, okay? But 40 million Americans, that's a lot. That's a lot. And about 60% of adults reporting having problems sleeping at least a few nights a week or more, all right? So basically, you know, we're a society full of insomniacs, you know, people that can't sleep because of our stress, anxiety, because we don't feel good, a lot of different reasons. Without proper rest, your cells can't recharge. They cannot rejuvenate. And remember, if you don't have healthy cells, you do not have a healthy body, okay? And those cells, if they're not healthy, they cannot properly reproduce or rejuvenate. You know, they don't rejuvenate, they're not recharged, they're not reproducing healthy cells, okay? These cells that go on to reproduce other cells, these other cells that are being made are not healthy cells. You know, and the other thing is that they can't eliminate toxins efficiently. And when you're not eliminating toxins efficiently, that toxic waste is just building up different parts of your body. It makes you more susceptible to health problems, exhaustion, and weight gain. What about movement? I talked about the importance of movement, you know, even if it's just getting up and stretching and doing some, you know, some just simple walking. Movement, no matter how simple it is going to increase oxygen to your cells. And remember, your cells, they need that oxygen, okay? They need food, water, they need oxygen. Movement stimulates the cells and cell development. And it opens up the energy cells. It also helps to release tension and stress, okay? So no matter how simple the movement is, it's so important, and it's so crucial to so many parts of the equation for being healthy. Movement to the point of breaking a sweat is even better, okay, because that helps to pump your lymphatic system, which in turn helps to remove toxins from tissue and fluid and releases them through the skin. Let me just mention something really quick about the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system, like I mentioned earlier, is just a very it's an intricate system of little vessels, and there's nothing inside of those little vessels to help pump that fluid. The only thing that helps to pump that fluid throughout your body is movement, okay? So movement is really important. If you're not moving and getting those muscles working, you don't get the proper movement of lymph fluid through the lymphatic vessels. And if that lymphatic fluid doesn't move, it gets thick and kind of like peanut butter, and it starts to if it doesn't move through your system, it doesn't filter out the toxins properly, and that's when you start getting that potential for illness, you know, and cancer. So it's really important to get that fluid moving through the lymphatic system. All right, so we've covered so far how the body's digestive system works. And we also touched on why so many people have digestive issues, okay? So now we're going to move into the next section, and I'm going to let Tina come on in here and take you through the rest of this talk. And again, I just want to thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to go ahead and move into now a quick and simple solution to better digestion.
Thanks, Dr. Cruz. So let's move on here and talk about digestive enzymes. So one of the things we really wanted to make sure that we did with you today was give you at least one takeaway from all the stuff that we teach and try to educate people on how to get change today and doing it in a very simple way. And one of the things that we teach people are about digestive enzymes, because we call them the little miracle workers. And basically, digestive enzymes are just a collection of molecules that help us break down our food. They start in the mouth, as Dr. Cruz discussed, and they are involved all the way through the digestion process. They're something that are created in our body automatically to help us break down the food. And it's interesting because without the proper enzymes, we have a really difficult time not only digesting the food and breaking it down, but also absorbing the nutrients from our food. So the other key thing to know about the enzymes is that there isn't just one enzyme that breaks down all the food we eat. There are actually tons of enzymes in the body, and they all have very specific functions. So, for example, we have a specific enzyme for digesting dairy-type products like milk and ice cream and yogurt, which is why a lot of people in their 20s, for example, who maybe drank a lot of milk growing up, for example, all of a sudden become lactose intolerant. And they find out that they can't, eat dairy anymore. And why is it that we can't eat dairy anymore? Well, it's because over the course of growing up and all the dairy that you drank and ate, your body kind of runs out of the enzyme to digest that dairy. And so now all of a sudden in our early 20s, we don't have the enzyme anymore. And now when we eat or drink dairy, we get gas and bloating. And it's very simple. We just don't have that enzyme anymore to digest the dairy properly. So it causes problems and wreaks havoc on our digestive system. So it's actually very simple once you understand kind of what's happening in the body. Now, enzyme development gets hindered in the body in terms of the development of it gets hindered one of two ways. First of all is a lack of proper nutrition over time. So for example, if we're eating what Dr. Cruz discussed, the standard American diet, which again, most of us eat the standard American diet. We don't know any better. And so when you're eating that diet over the course of a period of time and you're nutritionally depleting your body, you're literally not feeding your body what it needs to produce the proper enzymes to digest the food you're eating. So it's like this whole catch-22 situation. The other thing is age. So as we get older, our enzyme production also decreases over time. So you might have somebody who eats really healthy and they get into their 50s and 60s and all of a sudden they start having digestive issues where they didn't before. Maybe they start having acid reflux or gas or bloating. This happened recently to a friend of ours who was in his mid to late 60s, and we were explaining to him about the digestive enzymes, and he doesn't normally take stuff like that, and we were really encouraging him to supplement with an enzyme because we really felt like what was happening was as he was getting older, his enzyme production was decreasing and he wasn't able to digest his food properly. And he was buying all this over-the-counter stuff and Tums and Prilosec and all this stuff to try to calm down the symptoms that he was having. The minute he started taking an enzyme, all his symptoms went away. So it's literally so simple to supplement with an enzyme. So what we and this is the enzyme that we gave him was the everyday enzymes that Dr. Cruz helped to formulate. And this is literally a digestive enzyme supplement to replace what the body is not producing on its own. It's that simple. And it solved digestive issues for so many people that come into our office, and they keep coming back for more. They're literally calling us and saying, how long can I take this? And we tell them, you could take this for the rest of your life. They come in and they say, can I take it every single time before I eat? Absolutely. We suggest taking it right before you eat, whether it's a very big meal like dinner or breakfast or lunch, or snacks in between. If you're having symptoms, digestive symptoms, even when you eat something small, a snack in the middle of the day, then you absolutely should take a digestive enzyme right before you eat that snack. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to add to your daily routine, literally, that has helped so many eliminate their digestive issues. And taking an enzyme like this is so much safer and better than taking a prescription or a non-prescription drug, something over the counter. There's absolutely no side effects to taking this. There's no issues with long-term use. You are literally just replacing what the body is not producing on its own. So that's the quick and simple solution to better digestion. We hope that if you don't learn anything else today, you at least learn the value of digestive enzymes and try them out for yourself, because we really think that you can benefit from them. And now we want to talk about how to turn all the useful information, especially all the stuff that Dr. Cruz talked about, and how to turn it into lifelong digestive health. So digestive enzymes are only the first step to lifelong digestive health. Now we really want to discuss with you how to transform your body to literally rid itself of digestive issues for good. Okay? This is going to require 3 very important things: the knowledge, what to do; a plan, how you're going to do it; and ongoing support and guidance in terms of how to stay on track with this for the long haul. Okay? Now, in our regular face-to-face seminar, we hand out a summary of these steps. We're actually going to be sending you an email after you go through this seminar that's going to go through all of this for you. So just please, listen as I kind of walk you through this, and then you're going to actually not only get a copy of this talk, but you're also going to get all the materials that we would have normally handed out in person to you, so that you can go through them after the seminar is over. And these are the steps that we feel like you need to take in order for true digestive health. Okay, now this is after, for the last 4 years, Dr. Cruz and I have been putting on a 12-week wellness program where we literally take people, groups of people at a time. We'll take them through 12 weeks of not only educating them, but helping them put together a plan and helping them put that plan into action. And then we're constantly talking to them, and how's it going, and what challenges are you facing, and so on and so forth. But through all of that, not only are people learning a ton and feeling better by the end of the 12 weeks, but they're also realizing how simple it is in terms of what we're teaching. And it's just brought to the forefront to allow them to understand the simple changes that they can make on a daily basis to make them feel so much better. What we've found is that after they learn all this stuff and they incorporate their plan and they're feeling better at the end of the 12 weeks, as soon as we kind of set them free and we start on our journey with the next group of people, we've noticed that the other group of people kind of fall off the bandwagon quite a bit. Like, they might stick with 1 or 2 things we taught them, but for the most part they're telling us, yeah, we kind of got back into my old habits, and even though I was feeling better, it's just really hard. I didn't really have the support, and I didn't have anybody to be accountable to. Tina, you stopped calling me, and so on and so forth. And so what we realized is how important it is to have that ongoing support and guidance for someone, because it is hard. A lot of the things we're teaching, although it's simple, it's outside of the realm of what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, and it's so easy to fall back, right? So I want to encourage you, as you're listening to what I'm about to teach you, is to consider that, yes, you can go do all this stuff on your own, but it's very hard. It's very hard when you don't have a group of people, you don't have somebody there that you can count on to not only teach you, but also push you and encourage you and make you feel accountable to do better than what you've done. Because honestly, like Dr. Cruz said, we all know that the things we're eating aren't the best for us. We all know that not getting good rest, is not good for us. But for some reason, none of us change. None of us make that step. Take that step, because I think we don't have anybody to do it with. So that's what we're here for. That's why we're doing what we're doing. So whether you do it alone or do it with us, okay, the next set of information is to help you figure out what you have to do to move forward. Okay, and we hope you decide to move forward with us. So what we've created is what's called the DNA for Digestive Health. Okay, this is a 3-step program that is surrounded by the D, the N, and the A. Okay, and this is the knowledge and the plan of this aspect of what I was just talking about earlier. The D stands for detoxification and digestive restoration. The N stands for nourishment and necessary hydration. And the A stands for activating the mind, body, soul, and creating your action plan. Okay. Now, we created the DNA because as we were putting on our 12-week wellness program with groups of people at a time, again, they were getting a lot out of it. It was a wonderful experience for them. But literally the minute, within a month or two of them moving on and trying to do this stuff on their own, they had a really hard time. And what we realized was that we needed to spend most of our time supporting and guiding instead of teaching. And this is the teaching aspect. The DNA for digestive health is the teaching aspect, the education part. So we really felt like we had to figure out a way to deliver the education without being there one-on-one with people, or at least one to a group of people. This is our online home study program, okay? And we're going to take you through each of these steps, each of these 3 steps, the D, the N, and the A. We're going to give you all the information that you could possibly want to know about each one of these items. We're going to give you a way to execute a plan for each one of these things. And we're also going to give you all the resources that you need that we talk about. So for example, under digestive restoration, that's when we teach you a lot of what we taught you today in the seminar, okay, about your body and how it works. And digestive enzymes, for example. What are digestive enzymes? We teach all that in the digestive restoration section. And we also provide you, as part of the DNA, the digestive enzymes. So when we're teaching you about digestive enzymes, we can say, okay, go to your kit for your D and pull out your digestive enzymes, and every time before you eat, you want to take 1 or 2 of these. So it's going to give you not only the education, the resources, and the teaching, but it's going to give you all the tools that you need to execute these 3 steps to help you on your path toward digestive wellness. The other thing that we created, and this is the support and guidance aspect, this is the piece we created to really stick by your side for as long as you want us to stick by your side. Okay, this is called Digestive Revolution, and it's going to be a website that is your online ongoing support system. Okay, we've created access to an exclusive Digestive Revolution Facebook page so that you can constantly keep in contact with myself and Dr. Cruz, along with other fellow members. So this is something else where you've got this community of like-minded people who are all going through the same thing you're going through, who are all experiencing the same things, having the same struggles, having the same successes, and they're all going to be there right by your side, helping you and helping guide you. Maybe they just went through something you're going through, and they've got some great tips too, aside from what Dr. Cruz and I provide. So it's going to be this wonderful online community of like-minded people who are all searching for the same thing, digestive wellness. There's going to be a way for you to submit and search for recipes, movies, restaurants, services, things like where can I go get, some colon hydrotherapy, for example? Where can I go get a great massage? Where can I go get a great lymphatic massage? Everyone's going to be able to submit places that they've been to, that they love, that they want to share, and make sure other people can benefit from. We're also going to have monthly motivational calls. This is so important, everybody. This is where, even we feel like we are constantly motivating ourselves to, or each other to drink more water, eat more greens, don't forget to make your green smoothie in the morning. All these things, right? Like just these constant reminders, these constant motivation, that it's okay. Keep plugging away. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. So these monthly motivational calls to help you stay on track. There's going to be a whole section on general reminders and tips, travel tips. We're going to be doing product reviews. We've had so many of our patients who've gone through the program who are constantly contacting me about, Tina, what about this product? What about that product? And so they'll send it to me in an email, and they'll send me pictures, for example, of the products. And so I will get back to them, and I'll say, this is a great product, or this is not such a great product, and this is why. And it's such a great set of information for everyone to learn and know. And so we're going to have a whole section on Digestive Revolution that has product reviews so that you can go in and see, what does Tina and Dr. Cruz think of, these specific products. There's also going to be a section on advanced frequently asked questions, common excuses. This is a huge one. We have so many people who will give their common excuses, and then we just tell them how to overcome them. We're going to give them to you all up front so that, again, there are no excuses for why you can't move forward with something like this. And then for these people who are part of this ongoing community, we're going to be doing a lot of special and exclusive product or service offerings. We've got lots of partners that love to give our patients special deals and discounts on things. I mean, one example is the Vitamix, the beautiful blender that we promote, to our patients. And every once in a while, Vitamix will, come out with a bunch of refurbished machines for, 25% of the cost of a regular Vitamix. And this is the group of people that's going to get access to those machines, okay? And we've got so many partners like that that are giving discounts and doing things like that everyone can benefit from. So let's just take a step back and let me explain to you what's in the DNA, okay? The detoxification section, that's the first thing you're going to learn. And what you're going to learn is what detoxification is and why it's so important. Dr. Cruz touched a little bit on this earlier, but there's so much more to learn about detoxification. And we also discussed the 6 best ways to detoxify your body. And we give you some of the key resources and the products that you're going to need so that you can work through the steps to detoxify yourself. We had a patient who had IBS for over 20 years, and we really were encouraging her to do our Delicate Detox product as part of her detoxification process. And she was extremely nervous at first to try the Delicate Detox. She thought it was really going to aggravate her IBS. But after encouraging her and really telling her, look, it's a very natural supplement. If at any time it bothers you or you feel like it's not doing its job, just stop taking it. It's not going to hurt you. She started taking it, and literally her IBS symptoms subsided after just 10 days of being on the Delicate Detox. So as this was part of her detoxification process, again, once you learn about detoxification and you understand all the different ways to detoxify, there may be a different way that you feel like you need to detoxify based on what we teach you. This is just one of the simple ways to do it, is by taking a daily Delicate Detox. So that's part of what we teach for the detoxification section. Under digestive restoration, what you're going to learn is a lot of what you learned already today: how the body works, what it needs to function properly, what digestive enzymes are and why they're important. And then we also go into a little bit more on probiotics, what they are, what to look for when you're out shopping. This is a really big one, because we have a lot of patients who will come in, they'll learn about the enzymes, they'll learn about probiotics, but then they decide that they're going to go buy their enzymes and probiotics from Costco or Walmart or one of the other big box stores, because it's cheaper, for example. The problem with that is that it's not going to have the formulation that your body needs. And when it comes to a good daily supplement, you really have to know that you're going to get what you pay for. So if you're going to go out and you're going to buy a cheap enzyme or a cheap probiotic, it's not going to do the body any good. Okay, you've got to get the stuff that is a more high end if you're going to really take this seriously. So we are going to provide the actual products to help you restore your digestive system. Okay, and in terms of the testimonial on digestive restoration, we have, like Dr. Cruz said, hundreds of patients coming into our office every month with gas, bloating, acid reflux, constipation. Okay, and all they do is they begin taking the everyday enzymes and the pleasant probiotics on a daily basis, and literally, I am not kidding you, within days of taking this stuff, their symptoms are gone, literally gone, and they're calling us like, where do I get more of this? And they're getting on, our Time Saver program so we can ship it to them automatically every month. I mean, it's amazing how simple something can be to help them eliminate their problems. From a nourishment standpoint, so this is now moving on to the N. This is where a lot of the learning comes in. This is the day-to-day, how do I eat, right? What do I eat? What don't I eat? And what you're going to learn here is you're going to learn the history of the food industry and what you should know when you go shopping, how to read food labels, just how to look for the, to come in terms for sugar, because they're putting sugar in everything that we're eating, and we need to know that. We need to know the stuff that we're eating. We're spending so much time counting calories, and we're not counting chemicals in our food. It's sugar being one of them. But on top of sugar, all the added chemicals and preservatives that they're putting in our food that are literally poison to our body. Okay, we're going to teach you what those are, and we're going to teach you how to look for those so that when you read that stuff on a label, you can put that product back on the shelf and know that it's not doing your body any good. We're going to talk to you and teach you about GMOs, which are genetically modified organisms. If you don't know what a GMO is, please learn. If you don't learn from us, please learn from somewhere what a GMO is and how to avoid them. This is genetically modified seed that we're planting here in our country, and we're creating foods from GMO seed products like corn and wheat, and this stuff is getting into our body. And this is, when I say genetically modified, that means the seed was created in a lab. It wasn't created from the earth. And this is very dangerous because this stuff is not real food, and it's destroying our body. And we have to learn about this. We have to educate ourselves. We also have to learn why eating green is so important. Dr. Cruz talked about, eating too much white and not enough green. We teach you why eating green is so important, and we teach you the easy ways to eat more green every day, even if it's for breakfast. I know I have some people who think we're crazy that we eat green food for breakfast, but it's so simple, and tastes so good. That's what I want to make sure comes out, is that everything about what we teach is about eating fresh, healthy, good food. And I think people forget how good eating fresh tastes. Okay, we've been eating out of a box and out of a can for so long, out of a microwave for so long, that we almost forget what it's like to eat fresh. And honestly, it doesn't take that much longer to eat fresh. So we're going to teach you all those things. We're going to teach you why fast food, meat, dairy, and sugar are literally wreaking havoc on your digestive system. Okay, we're going to talk about all of that, why it's important maybe not necessarily to eliminate those things from your diet, but at least eat them in moderation. Eat less than what you're currently eating. Okay, although our family over time, over the last few years, has become non-meat eating, non-dairy eating individuals. We don't promote that. We don't say if you're going to do this and you're going to be healthy, you have to not eat meat or you have to not eat dairy. However, we do tell you about why these things are not creating a healthy environment in your body and allowing you to live a healthier life. And then we let you choose, okay? And it takes time. You have to understand, if you want to come off of meat or dairy or fast food, for example, it takes time. We have some people who are eating fast food 3 times a day. You're not going to stop eating fast food. I mean, this is something where that's part of your plan, right? Part of the plan is if you're eating fast food 3 times a day, you've just got to start backing off a little bit. Maybe eat fast food just a couple times a day for a few weeks, and then maybe just 1 time a day, and so on and so forth, until you feel like you can get off of fast food. Same thing with all the other things we're going to teach. Okay, eating it in moderation, coming off of it slowly. All those things are part of what we teach. And we also teach the healthier alternatives to the food you're already eating. So this is the part I really love about what we teach. Okay, there is nothing that we teach that says you can't eat this, you can't eat that. We have people all the time who are like, Tina, I love pasta, I love bread, I love this, I love that, I love chips, for example. And I don't tell you don't eat chips. I don't tell you don't eat bread. We don't tell you don't eat pasta. We just tell you eat this one instead. Okay, because it doesn't have all the chemicals. It doesn't have all the preservatives. It doesn't have the sugar, the added sugars. It's just food in its natural state. So we give you all that information that you need so that you can make better choices when you go shopping. So instead of buying this product, you'll buy that product. It's as simple as that. Okay? We do video tours of the grocery store so you can learn how to purchase everything from canned goods to vegetables. And we also teach you the healthiest ways to prepare your food. We used to do cooking classes with the groups of people that were going through our program, but now we've recorded everything on video so that you can watch all the cooking classes on video, and you can watch them over and over again. That was the one thing I heard from a lot of people who went through the cooking classes is, wow, Tina, that was amazing. I really love that one recipe you did, but how did you make it again? I forgot. By putting it on video, you can watch it as many times as you want until you get it down yourself, and you could be making it without my help. So the testimonial for the nourishment aspect of the program was, we have so many people come in and want to benefit from learning how to eat better, but we had specifically this one young couple, early 20s, they were married, they both had started feeling sluggish, low energy, beginning to have medical issues, for example, and they kind of thought that it was normal because all their friends around them were experiencing the same things. The gentleman was the one that came into our office to see Dr. Cruz, and then he saw what we were doing with the wellness stuff, and he and his wife came in for a consultation with me. And we spent, about an hour teaching them everything we would teach you in the DNA. We talked about the food alternatives list. We put them on gastro greens because they weren't eating enough greens. We literally just shifted them to a more whole food-based diet. Okay, everything that I just explained up in nourishment that you're going to learn is what we shifted them to. And within just a few weeks of what I call eating cleaner, and then taking the greens, they felt better. They had more energy. His general health kind of returned back. His symptoms were gone, and they just felt better. They had more energy. They started exercising because they had more energy. The woman got the courage to quit her job because it was really stressing her out. I mean, there's so many things that are affecting our life, and a lot of those things are coming from not eating healthy, not nourishing, not moving the body, like Dr. Cruz was saying, not getting enough rest. It literally is like this domino effect in our life, and we actually start turning one thing around. It's amazing the effect that it has on allowing us to turn the rest of our life and body around. Necessary hydration. Now, this is actually one of the key teachings out of probably everything that we teach, and this is probably one of the most important things. We always do a survey of our patients who've gone through the program. We ask them, what's the one thing that you benefited from the most? And 9 times out of 10, they're saying the water, the water, the water, the water. How simple it is, and once incorporated, what a drastic impact it made on their health. So the things under necessary hydration that you're going to learn is why water is so important to the body. I know Dr. Cruz talked a little bit about it today, but did barely scratch the surface of what we have to teach you about water. We talk about how much water you should be drinking per day because there is kind of a rule of thumb. We talk about how not all water is created equal, and what water you should be drinking. And this is really critical. This is something that I learned when we were going through this whole process of educating our own selves about this, is that I was drinking just regular filtered water from the fridge, and that's all I drank. I mean, I didn't drink soda, I didn't drink coffee, but I never felt hydrated. And there's a reason for that. And so we talk about all those things in this part of the program. We also talk about the things that you should be adding to your water to truly replenish what the body is losing. Remember when Dr. Cruz talked about how our body is slightly salty? So we talk about that. We talk about how to incorporate these things so that as you're losing water throughout the day, whether it's through sweating or talking, just talking. If you ever try to talk and put your hand in front of your mouth, there's actually water coming out when you're talking. So you're losing water all day long. You need to be able to replenish that water with the appropriate hydration fluids. And then we actually provide you, as part of the DNA, the actual products to help you hydrate properly. So again, this is the #1 teaching that has the biggest impact on health. Patients with low energy, acid reflux, constipation, weight gain have all benefited from this. But this one patient in particular who came in with all of these symptoms literally began drinking half of their body weight in ounces of alkaline water with salts and chlorophyll. So this is the aspect. Again, I'm not going to get into all of this right now because this is the whole education. I mean, this is going to take us time to teach you why this stuff is so important. But this patient in particular was about 160 pounds. So they started drinking about 80 ounces of water a day of alkaline water. They added the salt and the chlorophyll that we had suggested, the salt to help replenish the body with what you're losing, and the chlorophyll to get that added green to help build healthy red blood. And within just a few weeks, the patient not only had their energy back, but again, symptoms gone. No reflux, having regular bowel movements again, and their skin got clearer. This is somebody who had pretty bad acne and had gone to the dermatologist, couldn't tell you how many times, had lotions and creams and everything for their face, couldn't get rid of the acne. The minute they started drinking the appropriate amount of water, face started clearing up, right? It was just unbelievable. She couldn't believe it. She also started losing some weight. Again, it's not, the focus of what we do, but again, because you're doing the things that are healthy for the body, it's inevitable that you're going to have some weight loss. Finally, the A. This is the last step in the DNA, and what you're going to learn is all those added things that Dr. Cruz talked about that are so important to the body. This is where we're going to teach you about that. We're going to teach you about stress, how to deal with it properly. Every single person that has come through and gone through our 12-week program, for example, we ask them, what are you stressed out about? Are you stressed out? And every single person is stressed out about something. It was so amazing to me to see that no matter how old they were, no matter what stage in their life they were, they had something stressing them out, whether it was a relationship in their life, whether it was money or work, or even their spirituality stressing them out. It was just crazy to see some of the things that were stressing people out. So we can't teach you to not be stressed out, right? I mean, everyone's going to find, for some reason, we live in this society of constant stress, and we're constantly, if we don't have anything to be stressed out about, we make stuff up to be stressed out about. That's just the way it is. So I can't teach you how to not be stressed. What I can teach you is how to deal with your stress properly, okay? And that's part of the A portion of the DNA. We also talk about rest, how important it is to get good rest, how to get good rest, tips on how to get good rest. We help you put together your rest plan. We talk about the lymphatic system in detail. I know Dr. Cruz touched on the lymphatic system today. A lot of people don't even know they have a lymphatic system, and so just learning about it is so important. Learning about why movement is so critical to the lymphatic system, and helping you come up with easy ways to start moving the body, no matter where you're starting on this path. Maybe you haven't moved your body in years. Maybe you're out there exercising every day for 2 hours. So no matter where you are on your path, we're going to help you get started with at least moving the body on a regular basis, to start opening up the lymphatic system and those energy channels so that you can really get into the healing mode. We also teach about deep breathing exercises to increase oxygen throughout the body. Again, most people don't even think about their breathing throughout the day, and getting oxygen to the cells is so important. Just taking a deep breath can do so much for your body. When was the last time you took a deep breath? I want you now. Just stop for a minute and take a deep breath with me. Hold it in and exhale. I mean, how amazing does that feel? I mean, imagine taking a deep breath like that just a few times a day and what that can do for the body. Something so simple, everyone. So simple, yet we don't do it. And so we give you deep breathing exercises that you can incorporate throughout your day. Now, the testimonial here is we had a patient with intermittent digestive issues, but they were having a really hard time sleeping. And we suggested that they begin listening to the Journey into Meditation CD that we incorporate into the DNA. This is, again, one of the resources you get when you move forward with the DNA. And we also encouraged her to do some deep breathing exercises. And again, within just a couple of weeks, her digestive issues had subsided. She was sleeping better. She felt less stressed and more rested. And so simple. Something, listening to a CD every night, doing deep breathing exercises during the day. It's amazing how just these simple things can completely change your life around. And finally, the action plan. So what we're going to teach you is how to take everything you learned in the DNA and put it into a 3, 6, 9, and 12-month plan, okay? And you have to understand that it's going to take time to change the body around. This is not something where you're going to go learn all this stuff and within a month your whole body is going to be completely transformed. Yes, we hope that within just a couple weeks to a month you are going to start feeling better and you're going to notice some of your symptoms subsiding depending on what your situation is. However, the lifelong transformation takes place after months of putting your plan into action. And it takes months because we encourage you to do it with baby steps, okay? It's taken us years to get to where we are in the habits that we have, and it's not going to change overnight. And we don't encourage you to change it overnight because most people that try to change overnight don't stick with it. this is a lifelong change, and lifelong changes take a while. And this is something that you need to be patient with. But wouldn't you rather have a completely changed life in 1 to 2 years than be stuck in the same spot you are 2 years from now? Doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you're moving toward that and you have a goal. We're also going to teach you what to expect when you begin turning the body around. Sometimes, depending on, again, where you are in your journey, your health journey, your digestive health journey, you could be very sick, maybe not sick at all, but wherever you are, when you start incorporating some of these healthier aspects into your life, sometimes people experience what's called a healing crisis. And this is where things are going to seem like they're getting worse, not better, for example. So in my case, I had a healing crisis. Again, I wasn't sick or anything. I wasn't having any digestive issues at the time. I wasn't really having any medical issues in general. But after I had our twin girls, I had a really hard time losing the weight. And I really felt like I was eating okay and I was exercising, but I just couldn't get that last bit of weight off. The other issue that I was having since my early 20s was I was having a really hard time taking a deep breath. I would go for runs and things like that, and I would notice that I just couldn't get that deep breath that I used to be able to get. Once I started eating different, drinking different, or what I call cleaner, all of a sudden I started getting a really bad, what seemed like a chest cold. And I had this chest cold, I'm not kidding you, for 6 weeks, okay? I was coughing up stuff. I mean, this is going to sound really disgusting, but I just want to explain to you what a healing crisis is. I was coughing up green phlegm that had probably been sitting in my lungs for years, okay? It was disgusting. I was coughing this stuff up for 6 weeks, these deep, deep coughs. And every time I would cough, this stuff would come up, and I was able to take a deeper and deeper breath, okay? After 6 weeks, everything was over, done, and I could take a deep breath again, and my lungs were clear. And I realized that that was stuff, yucky, yucky stuff that had been building up in my lungs from all the crap I had been eating and drinking over the course of the last several years. And just by eating cleaner, drinking cleaner, realizing that it does matter what you put in your mouth. My body literally healed itself and purged itself of all that stuff. So it's never too late to turn the body around. Let me say that. And all you have to do is eat and drink with purpose, and you'll watch the transformation your body goes through. Sometimes when people are going through their healing crisis, they want to give up. They're like, oh, this isn't working. I'm actually more sick than I was before. Because we'll have people, their healing crisis might be getting a really bad headache. Maybe it's mouth sores, or their skin is itchy, or whatever it is. But we tell them, push on. There's a reason that the body is doing this. It's purging, and you have to let your body purge to get to the state of healing. So that teaching is all around that aspect of the body healing itself. We also give you tips for healthy eating while traveling or eating out, right? I mean, we're all eating out all the time. You know, we're going out with friends and family members, and we too, we don't want to cook every night, and so we like taking the kids out on the weekends. So we talk about how do you go out and how do you eat healthy. And then we also give you some tips on how to share your knowledge with others. The reality is you're going to start looking and feeling better, and people are going to notice, and we want you to know how to share what you're doing. And here we had a patient who kind of thought she could do it all without writing anything down. She's like, oh, yeah, I got this. I understand the learning, and I'm just going to go do it. The problem is that when she began incorporating her learning, she struggled. She had a really hard time sticking with it. And so we really encouraged her to go back and document her plan in her action plan workbook. The action plan workbook comes along with the DNA for digestive health. And then she later admitted that without the plan, honestly, the knowledge is meaningless. So until you actually write it down, it's nothing. It's not something that you're going to be able to stick to because you don't have a plan. You need to have a plan in order to move forward, and that's what the action plan workbook is for. And then the importance of the ongoing support. So even we realize between Dr. Cruz and myself how important it is to have the ongoing support and guidance. Without it, we falter, we have a hard time sticking with things, we have no one to be accountable to, we have no one to share our success and struggles with, and we have no one to share ideas with, and that's really no fun in the end. We need constant reminders of why the teaching is so critical to lifelong digestive health. I mean, Even Dr. Cruz herself, she'll not drink water, for example, for a couple days and then wonder why she has a headache. And I say, well, did you drink your water? Oh, no, I forgot to drink water over the last 2 days. So it's just this, we just need these constant reminders all the time, everybody. It's normal. We're all human. We're all going to falter. It's really important to have that support system behind you, reminding you what you need to do to stay on track. And it's really critical to have a community of like-minded people that are all kind of on the same path as you are, have the same goals as you are. They all have that same commitment, because not all of us are surrounded by people in our lives that have that commitment to our health. And so whether it's a spouse or friends or family members maybe that are discouraging, I know so many times Dr. Cruz would bring healthy food to the hospital when she was doing her procedures, and she'd have people making fun of her, that she was eating healthy food. And I think that's so sad, but I think it's more true than not that we have so many people in our society that don't get it, and that we're surrounded with on a daily basis. The fact that there's a fast food place on every corner, and actually more than one fast food place on every corner. It's so easy to be unhealthy, and it's not easy to be healthy. So to have a group of people that you can turn to and say, hey, my people at work, they don't get this. They're making fun of me, My family, they don't get this. They're making fun of me. They're trying to encourage me to do otherwise. That's what this group is for. It's that group that's to help you stay on track. So we had a patient who did really well during her weeks of working with us, but again, went right back to her old ways within weeks of ending her learning. And we really encouraged her to become part of the community. And she admitted that she didn't have the support she needed to stay on track. She really wanted someone to be accountable to and to stand beside her. And that's what Digestive Revolution is all about. So how does it work? So the DNA for Digestive Health, like I said earlier, is our home study program. It's all offered via the internet. And the reason we do that, one, is so that you can learn at your own pace in the comfort of your own home or work, wherever you want to do this. The DNA has not only all the materials we suggested, but we also have assessments that we're going to have you take. We have videos and audios, like we were telling you, so that you can watch over and over again, listen to over and over again. We have a frequently asked questions section. We have the action plan workbook. And we also offer the virtual boot camp for those of you that want to have Dr. Cruz and I take you through the materials ourselves. So you don't trust yourself to do the work, you don't want to sit there and learn the materials yourself, you can actually do the virtual boot camp, and it is Dr. Cruz and I taking you through all the materials, and adding our little extra pizzazz to everything that we've put together already for you. We also offer phone consultations with myself so that we can really get personalized with your specific plan. As you're learning the materials, how do you incorporate them into your life and your situation? We do also Q&A sessions with Dr. Cruz so that you can get online with her and ask her specific questions as you're going through your learning. And then finally, we offer discounts off of lifetime auto ship orders. And from the online support aspect, this is a login to an exclusive website for access to all the support and guidance services that I told you about. Now, the way that this works is this is an ongoing membership. So this is like a monthly ongoing commitment that you would make to Digestive Revolution to be part of that community. Whereas the DNA for Digestive Health is like a one-time upfront fee. You get access to all the materials for a lifetime. So how does this work? This is the DNA for Digestive Health offer. Okay, we actually created 4 different plans so that there's a plan for everyone. Okay, plans 3 and 4 can actually be paid in 2 separate installments. And the one thing I want you to know too is that you can upgrade your plan at any time. So if you decide that you want to start with DNA plan number 2, for example, but then maybe you decide after getting into it you really want to upgrade to plan number 3 or 4, you can absolutely do that. Okay, but here's how the plans work. You can see what the plans are valued at and how we've discounted them for you already. Okay, this is literally a lifetime, well, it feels like a lifetime worth of work. It's literally been between her medical degree and our 5 years of doing this, all the information we've learned for those prices. Okay, it's unbelievable the amount of information we're going to give you and the amount of resources we're going to give you for the value that we're giving to you at. DNA plan number 1 is For those of you that just want to get started, maybe you don't want to commit to any products yet, but you just want to get all the materials and you want to do all the learning, that's when you're going to get the home study program and the action plan workbook. When you bump up to DNA plan number 2, you're going to get the home study program, the workbook, plus that initial starter set of products. So the everyday enzymes, the delicate detox, the pleasant probiotics, and the gastro greens. Okay? Plus, you're also going to get 5% off of all your lifetime orders. So for example, if you say the enzymes end up really working out great for you and you want to do, every month you want to do enzymes, you're going to get 5% off of that order. DNA plan number 3 has that plus all the rest of our products, the product power pack, the cookbook, plus a phone consultation with me, and 10% off of your lifetime orders. And DNA plan number 4 is going to just increase the number of phone consultations that you have with me. It's also going to give you access to that virtual boot camp I was telling you about, where you can listen to Dr. Cruz and myself talk through all the materials firsthand, and you get the Q&A coaching with Dr. Cruz. This is 6 months access to all those Q&A calls with Dr. Cruz. And finally, you get 15% off of all your lifetime orders. Digestive Revolution is that support and guidance aspect I was telling you about, and you're going to have unlimited access to Dr. Cruz and myself for $29.95 per month. Now, because you committed to being on this call with us, this seminar, and you've taken the time to watch it, we really want to give you a gift for being here and taking the first step towards your digestive health, because that's huge, you guys. Just the fact that you've taken that step, you've committed to going through the seminar and learning, we want to give you a gift. And so what we decided to do was slash those already incredible prices for these plans and give them to you for these reduced prices. Okay, so literally you can get started today on all of your learning, the whole DNA package, for only $2.95. Okay, that is amazing. It's an amazing deal. You cannot pass this up. And if you want all the products and all the support and all the virtual boot camp and all the coaching and all the calls, it's only $12.95, and that can be broken up into 2 payments. So how is this program paid back? Honestly, what's the cost of not feeling well on a regular basis? Okay, we're losing time with family, from work. Your life is revolving around doctors and medicine. You're taking more medicine now than you were before. It's no fun being sick, having aches and pains all the time. And I always tell people, aren't you tired of trying every doctor, every drug, and things only seem to get worse? I want you to imagine a life without digestive issues. Taking matters into your own hands and taking your life back, okay? Taking your health back, being responsible for yourself. And the one thing that I always tell people is, how could you not make the investment in a future of well-being? So again, just on top of everything else we want to do, we want to gift you 1 month of access to Digestive Revolution on us. Okay, if you sign up for one of our packages, for our DNA packages, we're going to give you 1 month access to Digestive Revolution on us so that you can get out there and try it out before you decide to commit to it on a regular basis. So the top 4 questions we always get. But Dr. Cruz, what if I don't have time for this right now? Well, that's why we made it a home study program, so that you can actually get it now at the great discounted prices and then do it whenever you're ready, right? I mean, you don't have to, if oh, I don't have time over the next couple of weeks, I'm busy, or I'm going out of town next month, or whatever it is. Well, just do it when you get back. Get it now, get it ready to go, so that when you are ready, you've got it, and you can get started with it. I don't have the money. So this is another one. This is the one where I always tell people that we have the money, we just aren't spending it properly, okay? This is about priorities. And if the example that I give people all the time, because this happened to me personally, we're sick, we don't feel good, we definitely need something like the DNA for digestive health, yet we say we don't have the money. When, let's say for example, tomorrow our car were to break down and our car now needs $695 worth of work done. Would you even think twice about putting that money into your car? Of course not, because you need a car. And you would go get that car fixed in a minute, and you would spend the $695. You would find a way to get the $695 to fix your car. But when it comes to our body and our own health, we don't do that. And what I don't understand is why that is. This is our body. This is the vessel that we're living in. This is the thing that is either going to make us happy during the day or miserable. Yet we'd be willing to put our money into a car, an object, and not into ourselves. Okay? Really want you to think about that and the priorities. You know, I had one patient who was, I don't have the money, yet the next week they went out and bought a television for their house. It just, the priorities are so messed up. We've really got to put more focus on ourselves and our own body and our own learning. We've got to take the time to learn for our own sake. I need to talk to my spouse first because they probably won't be supportive. This is another one. We get a lot of patients who, you know, their spouse typically isn't along for the ride with them on this. You know, it's, you know, they get upset because they spend money on stuff like this. And here's the reality. If your spouse isn't supportive of you being, you know, learning and being even on this seminar, for example, they're probably not going to be supportive of you doing the DNA, okay? I try to tell people this is one of those situations where it's almost better to ask for forgiveness than try to get approval, okay, or get permission. So, you know, start with the $295. Start with the low-end offer if you feel like, you know, your spouse is going to have, you know, a heart attack. Or, you know, you have to figure out, how do I get started, you know, and maybe limit the amount of backlash, you know, you might get. And then finally, I don't trust myself to do the work. Look, if you don't trust yourself to do, you know, an hour a week, for example, sit for an hour a week with us, you know, learning and educating yourself and taking action, then maybe this isn't for you, okay? I mean, you have to be willing to take at least some steps to doing this. And if you don't trust yourself to do the work, then, again, maybe it's not for you. This isn't for everyone, and that's okay. But the reality is that we're getting sick, fat, and tired on accident, okay? It's taken all these years for us to get sick, fat, and tired, and we wonder how it happened, okay? You really have to get well on purpose. You're not just going to get well just, you know, overnight. You're not just going to wake up and all of a sudden start feeling better. The tools you need to move with purpose is you need the knowledge, you need a plan that you can live by, and you need that ongoing support and guidance to help you stay on track. So our invitation to you is, again, the DNA for Digestive Health plan that's right for you, 1 month of Digestive Revolution on us. And if you have any questions about any of this, please, 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 please contact us. Either call us or send us an email, support@drlizcruz.com. You're going to get a follow-up email from this explaining this offer to you so that you can take action on this. And we really appreciate you being on this call. We really hope that you decide to take action and join us on your digestive health journey. We really want to help you get well. We really want to help you just, you know, take your health to the next level. Thank you so much, and we look forward to taking that next step with you.